that button. Okay, we are live. Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody out there. If we haven't met, I'm KAT Troulinos with Tada by KAT, Next Level Staging and Design, where we exercise magical transformation for your space, whether selling or dwelling. We're talking all things home today, and I am so excited because the lady over here that she hasn't talked yet, is talking all the way from Rome, right? You are in Rome, right, sweetie? Rome, Italy.
Yes, I am.
And Sanja Radovanovic, I hope I did that close enough.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
My sweet dear friend, president of the European International Association of Home Staging Professionals, amongst many other platforms that she is spreading the word, the knowledge, her expertise and talent throughout Europe, really throughout the world. She's going to share some nuggets with us today. So if you've ever been curious about what's going on in the rest of the world about selling, dwelling, decorating, architecture, etc., stay tuned, share this, watch it on the flip side, etc. Sanja, welcome, my dear. Thank you so much. I know it's like late at night.
Yep, it is. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It is a true pleasure and a privilege. So I'm really honored, and it doesn't matter that it's late at night.
And that's what you're all about. No matter what, get it done, show up, and that's what I love about you, and so many people love about you.
Thank you.
So what would you like to share? There's so much, and I know we talked about a lot of cool things pre-show that I'd like to talk about again. We try to keep this at about 30 minutes, but share with us a couple things that you think our viewers might be interested in. Some stuff they don't know. Like, did you know? And I'll just kind of start off with saying, I know, and having had the privilege to actually speak and attend your very first meeting conference in Europe. I mean, I met so many people from so many countries, and Europe is much different. The spaces are different. The way the real estate transactions are worked, if you're a realtor and you're watching this, are much different because the listing agent doesn't get the commission. I think the buyer's agent does. Is that the dealio on that?
It also depends.
Yes, that's changing. But, Sanja has had an uphill battle. It's been steady, but she's consistent in terms of educating sellers and realtors on the benefit of professional staging. So talk to us a little bit about that, Sanja, what the climate and difference.
And that we're celebrating the 50th anniversary since home staging as a concept has been developed and created by Barb Schwartz. So
yes, January 9th, 50 years. If you're watching, Barb.
Also from my end.
Yes.
Let me tell you honestly, we're struggling. We are, but I'm not giving up when it comes to educating and informing, the buyers, the sellers, the real estate agents, brokers, investors, builders on multiple tangible benefits that home staging brings to the table. Why are we struggling? And I'm like, oh God, it's been 50 years since the concept has been created. But of course, everything that is invented or created, or it starts in the US, it takes some time to come to Europe. So staging came around almost 10 to 15 years ago, according to the country that we're speaking of. Let's remind everybody, US, okay, 50 states. And then we have Europe, which is a continent, and geographically speaking, made of almost 40 something countries that come all under the same continent umbrella. And this means so many different cultures, mentality, languages, and also, of course, the ways the real estate has been sold. That's also why the differences in home staging are so unique, because everything it has to do with its geographical location. Like if we compare for example, Scandinavian countries, they're very far north, and Portugal. By the way, we're going to talk about the conference coming to
Yes.
Portugal as well,
Coming up.
or Spain. That these countries are very close to the south bottom of Europe. The differences are massive. Weather, culture, mentality, markets, and also the way we live in our properties. It is very minimal, the way of life in the Scandinavian countries when it comes to the furniture, accessories, the colors, and nothing bright and nothing is almost shining in the Scandinavia in terms of colors. And then you come all the way towards south and towards Italy and towards Spain.
Vibrant.
Vibrant, very yellow, and of course a lot of blues because of all the Mediterranean Sea that we have, and of course others as well. So we're struggling because while we had Barb creating the industry and the demand for us by educating, informing, and preaching in all 50 states for over 10 years, home staging as a profession came to Europe without having spread before, no knowledge about it. So that means that there is a huge offer of our services, but how many brokers or real estate agents or investors know actually who we are and what are the benefits of staging? So education is the key, not only for the future professional home staging professionals, but most of all for all those real estate professionals who are working within the real estate industry, who want to make the most out of the transactions. We're speaking money.
I want to stop you right there because that transcends continents, and as much as, and then you have a much deeper curve in terms of from the U.S. To Europe. We're in a market where and again it depends on the market, the area of the country of U.S. But many agents, they're hopping on getting their license and they think, oh well, it's just going to sell. So why and I sing this praise almost, exactly, money.
This
money,
universal, money. Like worldwide, money.
So this is the best time. I don't get tired of sharing it. This is the best time that you need to squeeze every dollar of precious equity out of your seller's property. You're going to make them so happy and you're going to make more money. And the third leg of that, what I call three-legged table, branding. If you in this, in a market where they're flying off it, well, I don't need to do anything. Well, really, why do they need to hire you? When someone new comes along, when the market isn't, has changed, which it will, they're going to look at your portfolio of what you've done and think, well, how did she earn her commission? And I'm not saying that's the only way you earn it, but perception is everything. Buyers justify price with emotion. Good staging creates emotion. So why would you want to eliminate that?
I love all three of the points, but very passionate about the third one. Why? I'm very fortunate to work with the only real estate agency in whole Italy that actually applies home staging services and much more to every single exclusive listing that they acquire.
Wonderful.
And they are the ones offering home staging services and photography and many more free of charge. It's a complimentary service to all of their clients. And Kath, we say every home deserves to be staged, okay? So that it sells faster, at the better conditions, for more money, meaning it doesn't matter the price tag that it comes for. We all need to give the service of excellence to each one of our clients. So since we've started almost 2 years ago, our branding just took off. We're called on a monthly basis to speak at events. We're interviewed in national like financial newspapers. Everybody wants to know, how is it possible? Like the national average, so the days on the market that it takes for a property to sell in Italy, it's about 6 months.
Wow.
Our personal average goes down for the year 2021 down to 55 days. Because of
Wow.
course you do sell properties even in 7 days. Our biggest record last year was 4 days. And this is something that is perceived as, oh, this is unbelievable, I don't believe you. Well, you better should, because it's all documented, recorded. We're
Mm.
not lying here. And what does make the whole difference is because in today's market and this fast life that we're all living, it's not important anymore what you're selling, but the way you're promoting and the way you're selling it. Think about also visual merchandising applied to, I don't know, fashion or any sort of goods. So would you pay a same price tag for the same pair of shoes? Should they be disposed differently? Like one highlighted in a nice, boutique window with a nice lighting on it, everything clean. And then think about a complete different situation. Of course, it's not visual merchandising. We're speaking about the perceived value of the property. Vacant doesn't make it. And, we've been trained.
Bacon doesn't make
Doesn't make
it.
it.
No, no, no. We want to take it from woe to wow, and you got to put some beautiful stuff in it to make that happen. And I think, and I remember this, and I repeat this because it was on your stage in Rome, beautiful hotel, Omni, I think it was gorgeous hotel, and it just stuck me. There's so many Barb-isms, but when she said, you know, staging is a feeling,
A feeling.
and not just like, it was just like such a light bulb reminder that buyers justify price with emotion, with feeling, and they will justify a higher price every time. So you talk about the visual marketing. Proper staging is the most impactful, powerful marketing tool an agent or seller can have, period. And you guys are photographers and architects primarily in Europe, starting and then backing into staging,
Yeah.
which is fabulous, which is not the case here quite so much. So the value of that impression and the aesthetics and the color and the architecture and how to self-correct and like I get excited when clients say, we've got a problem listing. Bring it on. I love problem listings because
And you know what I
it's
love?
so easy to do a model home that's
Yeah.
got the perfect everything neutral. You can decide what palette, but when you've got older homes that they don't have a perfect floor plan, and quite frankly, there is no perfect house or perfect floor plan, but it needs redesigning, with visual impact, with the movable furniture, decor, lighting, rugs, etc. Yeah, it's just so statistics. I had no idea it was 6 months was average. I mean, yeah, people have got to be blown away in Europe over the kind of results that you all are getting. And I know Jenny, the CEO and president of stagehomes.com and IAHSP shared statistics. I haven't had a chance to look at the 2022 yet. I'm sure they've probably improved. Have you looked at those for? Well, ours would be nationwide.
Still have it.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't either. But let's just even take the last year they were done. You're looking at up to 20% nationwide. So depending on where you live, and this is I'm called domestic, and your numbers I'm sure are way over that. But the bottom line is that staging works. So why would you not give your seller that benefit? Yeah, and yourself.
It really gives a tangible impact because you had something that could be, proposed on the market, for example, for 400,000, and then all of a sudden, you have a staged listing price 425, 430, and it could go even higher according to, of course, the market. you gotta be a visionary. You gotta be a business owner. You gotta be an entrepreneur to understand that not always who is selling a property is actually willing to invest money in staging. And like us as stagers, we get the least out of the whole transaction. The listing agent gets slightly more, and then
Yes.
the homeowner gets it all, which
And,
is
and I can tell you, we sweat more.
we sweat more. But here's the thing: should the agents, the brokers, be willing to offer, as I said, complimentary services, and make themselves stand out from the competition? This is the way to do. And on the other hand, what we unfortunately see still in 2022 all across Europe is not only the properties, let's say 90% of the properties are non-staged, okay?
Well,
For multiple reasons. People don't know about staging, people willing not to invest, or the same professional, real estate professionals who are not educating their own clients, meaning owners, that there is a possibility to have a shorter and a better sale.
yes.
They haven't been even educated towards the professional photography. And I like to highlight the importance of professional photography, because
Yes.
even the best home staging, with no doubts, if it's not followed by a great real estate photography and also some nice close-ups and detailed real estate or interior design photography, will not showcase at its best. Because the buyers, what do they see for the first time? The property that is listed, okay?
That's the first showing, and I say that all the time. When is your first showing? It's
Online.
online, so you better be staged and have great photos. If you're not, you're what I used to say when I was in yellow page advertising back in the 80s. Oh, Mr. Business owner, you don't have a budget for advertising? Oh, you're probably like the person who winks in the dark. They know they winked, but guess what? Nobody else does. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think one time in the years that I've been in business, I had a realtor. I think his sellers paid for it, and it was vacant staging, so it was up there in the thousands, a big home. But he didn't have them take new pictures, and I was like, "Whoa, what are you thinking?
Why are you even investing in home staging?
What are you thinking?" So when I talk to realtors, I tell them, a consultation, like an occupied consultation, you should be offering that. And guess what? I know as a realtor, a licensed realtor myself, that you start spending money as soon as you get a listing, marketing, and flyers and broker open, etc. So why would you not, hedge yourself and have it look fabulous?
Well, listen, if you allow me 30 seconds only, this is my being very thankful today after so many years. I've started my staging career and I've taken the education within the stagehomes.com. I was back then in Chicago, Illinois, and I had my first and one of my best clients, Beverly Fleischman from Coldwell Banker in Wilmette, Chicago. She used to offer all the time to all the clients of course, occupied properties, 1 hour complimentary consultation with the home stager.
Yep.
That alone, it did make a very big difference. Now, kudos to all of us, because home staging is a communication tool. We know this very well. Home staging is a feeling, and this applies most of all, in my personal opinion, towards the vacant. But when we enter the owner's homes, properties that are furnished and occupied, that is when we're also psychologists, best friends, because I've learned in almost 10 years of business and experience that people really need a lot of love too. People need somebody that is going to listen to them, who is not going to judge them, who is there to actually help them. It's
And
very
that's a key. I just want to intercept right here the judging, and I tell realtors this when I teach classes. There is I've gotten business before because they've interviewed several stagers, and the stager's like, oh God, no, oh this is horrible, oh that's so ugly. It's like, oh, what are you thinking? So again, it's like it's education. And I love to do role play with realtors and show them, okay, Sanja, you do want to sell your home as quickly as possible, right? Get the head shaking. And you want to get as much money as possible, right?
Yes, I do.
Know you do. And you don't want to be living in a fishbowl, that's what you're doing for very long, right? Great. So, oh my gosh, I love this collection of crosses you have.
But
how many is there? 50? Yeah, guess what? Let's get those packed up because your agent's going to get you moving really, really quick, and we don't want them broken, and we want to appeal to as many people as possible. So this will help to do that. And so just a short example of how you can talk to people with honoring what they have. Even calling, gosh, those are beautiful. It looks like some of them might be from another country, or is that porcelain or gold? Whatever, a collection, whatever it is that but you gotta be, like you said, be kind, be compassionate, be respectful for their things, and they will be on board. I literally had a realtor go, Kat, she was shadowing as I was doing the occupied walkthrough, and she says, I told her to do that, and she rolled her eyes at me. You told her, and she's like, oh yeah, let me do it. So, I know that you play the good cop, bad cop, and, I had a realtor who not only paid for consultations, she just blew it out the water. She paid for all occupied, I'm sorry, all vacant stages. She did something like 40 million or something. This was before the market got crazy. And, with the whole COVID thing, we offered even some payment plans to where they could pay 50% up front and 50% at closing. I had to charge them a little admin fee because it has to go in escrow and so forth, but we made it happen. Like, you know what? You deserve to have it staged. You don't have the upfront money, but you got the equity at the back end. Give me 50%. We'll build, we'll get the rest at the end. And that was really successful.
And this is also part of running, successful businesses, being able to and being actually willing to adapt, compromise when needed, and most of all, create long-lasting and respectful relationships. Like, I'm gonna go back quickly to Marittime Immobiliare, the first real estate agency in whole Italy that includes home staging within the marketing plan. What we have built in the past 2 years is something that actually even fasten the whole processes. We've been a solid relationship of trust and mutual respect that we go collect the keys directly to the property. The showing or the listing agents, they don't even go preview it before it's even staged. So we're their first person. There's as I said, trust, mutual trust.
Yes.
And when you build a solid relationship, then according to it, and you know very well how we all have our best clients, top clients, and then those, I wish he didn't call me. And then like this one calls me only when he's desperate for staging because probably he went on the market, has been sitting there vacant for 9 months,
right.
Received, 2 price reduction. Now he wants to stage. Like, why didn't you call me earlier? You know me, there's each one of us has their own statistics. So staging is everything in my personal hand. Like, listen, tell me now, be honest. Has there ever been one day that you woke up being like, oh, I gotta go and stage a property today? No, we're so happy when we go out there. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny, condo for sale or a luxurious property of who knows how many square feet. we're there to serve, we're there to bring value, and we're actually there to bring more equity to all of us. I see only positive aspects of it all, no matter if we're United States or
Yes.
in Europe. You
Yes.
guys definitely have it easier than we do, because like, you know how in America everything is better, bigger. We don't have driveways. We need to park the cars. Many times there's no parking. Now, how
And
do
you
you?
need to oftentimes manage multiple. I traveled after visiting you. Multiple. I'm looking. Wow. No wonder they made cubics.
Yeah,
Which is cardboard, ingenious cardboard furniture with nice cloth. Because how would you navigate? We're doing an upstairs apartment in the Heights, destaging this week, and the stairs are like this. Fortunately, we used, our apple green small sofas, smaller furniture, and so forth. But that's the norm in a lot of spaces in Italy, right? In Europe,
think
yeah.
about most of the items don't actually fit in our elevators. Like our elevators are probably made for two, maximum three
Ah,
people. So
ah,
meaning like a bulky armchair, it doesn't fit in.
mm,
Sofas, they don't. This afternoon, we were staging a partially furnished property whose owner recently passed away. So
mm.
partially furnished because the kids have already removed
That's the things, yeah.
some bulky pieces. But how do we do to make it actually happen? For every problem, there's always a solution, Cap.
There you go.
In Europe, mainly
That's a
we
thumbs up for you, honey, because you have the yes attitude.
yeah, it's like, listen, it wouldn't be called a problem if it wasn't there so that you find it a solution.
Yes.
In our warehouse, we have, regular couches, sofas, sectionals, blah, blah, blah. But we have 50% of our ownings in terms of sofas that they're called click clack sofas.
Huh.
So click clack, why? Because when you need them, you click them and they go all the way flat.
Oh, we call that a futon here.
Not sure, but
Yeah, yeah. No, we call it a futon. I have one in my creative room. It's a sofa, and then I click it, and
Mhm.
I can
Yeah,
make it flat. Really,
you make it
it could
flat
be a
as a
bed.
bed
Yeah.
eventually. But it's a three-seater,
Yes.
nicely looking ones.
Yes.
And this is how we actually manage to bring it up first, second, third, fifth floor.
Ah.
Uh, when necessary, and most of the times is necessary because of the tiny elevators. You just gotta work it out, and it is what it is. So we're all adapting, finding creative ways, but also
Yes.
when it comes to my institutional position and of course responsibilities, the key here to expand the knowledge and the comprehension of the benefits of home staging is to keep informing. And
Absolutely.
you know we're such a young European association. We've been founded recently, less than 5 years ago. But I'm so proud of the board and as well of our members at the same time. We're doing everything that it takes to make sure that our services, they're valued and perceived as beneficial as they are. So one of our biggest responsibilities as the leaders of IAHSP Europe is to level that market. You remember when I was saying at the beginning, Barb Schwartz created the demand for our services, and back there she was the only stager.
Right.
Then more stagers come up. In Europe, it is completely the opposite. Stagers came up, so many schools offering home staging courses, and then you have all these nice staging professionals who are unable to make their living constantly only thanks to staging. So for us, like, I'm an interior designer, but many architects as well are including staging services after, of course, being trained professionally to become a stager. to integrate that as an extra service. There was a huge impact, of course, because of COVID, and the market. Of course, I'm speaking mainly for Italy because that's the market that I do live.
Right.
And when you said 6 months is a lot, in 2019, the average time that the properties were sitting on the market was 9 months. So we went all the way from 9 to 6. And I'm 100% positive, should you ever call me again in 18 months' time from now, I'm going to give you even better numbers. And all this because we're informing and educating the clientele. Newspapers, TV shows, anything that it takes and anything that brings value and that makes the whole process being quicker, towards the recognition of our profession, which is the mission of the association. We have established some fantastic and important collaborations with FIAPSI, the International Federation of Real Estate Professionals, and as well as with the European Association of Real Estate Professionals. The European Association basically has 29 national real estate affiliate associations, meaning we have only one umbrella, being European to European Association, and then we have direct access to these 29 local associations, local meaning national for us.
Right.
We're going to bring the real estate courses, educating the clientele on why to hire a stager, and then allowing our members to strive even more. So education is the key.
It is the absolute key, is raising the level of awareness. And yeah, kudos to you and all the board members there in Europe, because it's funny when Barb created World International Estate Association of Home Staging. I don't think it was international. She kind of talks about this. I don't think it was international at the time, but or was that for worldwide staging? Was that?
No, that was for
it wasn't international. And now, how many countries? We had 12 at the first conference. 12 or 15.
Yeah. So basically, when she was founding IAHSP, the attorney told her, "Are you sure you want to go with the international? Because who knows about staging among the US?" And she said, "Watch out, because this is going to go worldwide." So the Worldwide Staging Service Week first was national because we didn't have no presence internationally besides the first affiliation with the Italian Association at that time and with Japan, that was secured back in 2015 by Barb. And then with the Jenny's leadership taking over, and with, of course, my and our contribution in Europe. And the vice president of the European Association, Paloma Harrington, she is the international globe director. So she's been speaking about home staging in Dubai last week. We travel wherever we're called to bring information.
She traveled to Dubai, or was that?
She just came from Dubai. Yeah, she just came.
Oh, wow.
I was like, lucky you. I was just in France, and she was like, "Oh, shut up! You went to France. I'm going to Dubai." So, and this is also a way for us to serve the industry. We're so committed because we do believe in magic of home staging.
Absolutely. It touches many people's lives in their next step new home journey. And of course, spills over to, you're a designer turned stager, I'm a stager, and with COVID, we've pivoted into more design, and of course now into the custom biophilia, et cetera. It's like, that's a whole nother episode, how is design different than staging, and do they cross roads? Yes, they do, but they're still different. They're very different. And it's a different mindset also. When I'm staging for someone, I don't really care if they don't like, what I'm doing because it's all about the buyer. However, design clients, I had a design client. We were out shopping for rugs. She goes, "Well, I don't know. It's just me, Kat." But I go, "Wait a minute. It is just you.
It's all about
it's
you.
All about you."
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
different
the
there,
crazy.
right?
Well, I told you, I've shared this. I've started as an interior design, and trust me, I was loving the whole process and designing and creating spaces for my clients, meaning people who are going to be living in that property and digging into their minds, the way they're living the properties, what are their needs, what are the wants, combining everything into design magic. And then I've discovered staging. God forbid I receive a phone call for a design project. I don't enjoy them anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Here's what I enjoy. I enjoy doing a Zoom consultation across the country. As Joanne would say, I don't have it put on my bra feed, and so, but I can share my magic with a consultation like this. That's wonderful. But there is um, I think if you're at a place where you can kind of pick and choose, because design clients can be all encompassing, some of them can really suck the marrow out of you, but some of them can be very joyful. And I find, we're getting ready to promote our decorator for half or full day because
Oh, wow.
it's the closest thing to staging. I love the fix of being able to assess the needs, assess the problem, come up with a color palette, pick the happy colors, figure out what they want, maybe do some shopping, and come in and stage to dwell. I love that because it's the closest thing to staging. Because I like to make decisions quick. Because in staging, as you know, you have to make decisions quick. You can't belabor over and shop and this and that. You're going, okay, boom. The color palette's this. We need that. We have to self-correct with this. We need this size art. We need it. And so it's very fast. Do you want to share some of that of what is your reasoning for liking staging more than design?
I think because of two reasons. Since I've started staging, it's almost 10 years. So I have grown up as a person, and I'm probably in my best decade ever where I feel going into that maturity and of course having the opportunity to choose, okay,
Yes.
where you really want to go ahead and what clients to and what projects to accept. But also what is always so attractive to me, it's because we all have different cultures and mentality. So my US design clients who have really joy to work with, the Italians have so many great features and aspects as people, and it's also about the behavior and the way of being. Basically, yeah, everything that falls under cultural aspects. Sometimes it takes forever to take a decision, and I've seen that it comes down to a point where that professional relationship is not there to be like mutually respected. Okay, they think like hiring a professional who's going to work with you on redesigning your own property where you're living, not selling, somehow becomes one of your friends that you can call at any time of the day or night during
Yeah.
the weekends. So you gotta set your tones
Yeah.
and
You have to set your boundaries. Yes. Because
boundaries.
yes.
And not necessarily in this country with this culture and mentality works. So being a humble and kind person and human being, I find this very difficult for myself to set the boundaries.
Yes.
And honestly, let me chillax on Sunday rather than being, you know, bombarded with WhatsApp vocals, like 5 minute long vocals, which are almost podcasts. I was thinking that I don't really like that shade of gray or, whatever the shade is.
Yep.
And I thought maybe we should go a couple of steps backwards. And I'm like, it's Sunday. So
So
without,
can I share with you something
yeah.
that I have developed that helps circumvent that?
Hmm.
And so after I have an on-site consultation, and I have a flat fee for that, whether it takes me an hour, hour and a half, I've had clients say, well, what's your hourly rate? I don't charge by the hour because, quite honestly, I can do in 1 hour that might take 3 for someone else. Not to be boastful, but that's the reality of my talent, training, and experience. So then I provide them a scope of work, and I give them a DIY and a full service. So the DIY would be very helpful for these ones that want to just, so I let them know for X number of time. Like I have one lady, she's in New Zealand right now. So I extended it because I knew she was going to be out of the country and she's waiting for some stuff to be delivered. So here's my flat fee for a DIY. You instead of me shopping, you send me 3 of the best, whatever you're looking to purchase, and I will give you my professional opinion based on our on-site consultation, what's going to fit into the color scheme, the design scope, the design needs, etc. Phone calls or text, etc. So, and if it is right in the contract, if it goes over 3, then there's a fee for that. But you're then being paid for. The first time a client does that, I tell them, I can answer this, but any more than 2 questions or 3 questions, we would go with a DIY package. It seems to help, and I've had many people go, yeah, that sounds great. I don't mind shopping. It'll be cost effective for me, but now my time's being paid for, because really that's all we have is our time, talent, energy, and training.
Exactly. And I don't know, how's traffic in Houston? Because it's really bad in Rome. I don't want to go shopping for anybody else. And I'm not being here.
But I charge for shopping if it's online too. Okay. If I'm shopping online, that takes time.
Doing it.
Yeah. The only thing I shop in person is the accessories. Yeah. So you give me a budget. You have $800 to spend on accessories. I'm usually going to go to 1 to 2 stores. That's it. But I'm being paid for that. Here's my fee for shopping. You got to get paid.
Can I give you now the thumbs up? Where's the thumb up for you? I can go forever like this.
And that's okay. The people who don't want to pay you, it frees up your time for the people who know, like, trust, and value you and are going to pay for your expertise. Because if not, people will suck your time and expertise. Barb talks about early on in staging even, where maybe she's giving just a walkthrough and they want to pick her brain. And, there's just a gentle way to say, as soon as we agree to work together, I'm going to put all that into detail, or what have you for you. Because people it's instinct. They want to suck as much, out of you. Sometimes folks just want, I said, you know what, you can pick my brain. I'll be there for an hour and a half tops. Here's what my fee is. And you can drive the bus in terms of pick my brain on anything. Backsplash, selections, flooring, paint, lighting, etc. They can drive the bus. I'm just going to get paid for it. So,
exactly. This was one of issues back when I arrived from United States to Italy. I've seen many colleagues, listen to this, giving away the mood boards for vacant properties. And here we're speaking staging again. And I was like, no. You're not going to give no mood boards. Have they signed a contract with you? Are they officially your clients? Do you have the keys of the property? And why would you even share what you're going to put within the property? Okay.
Yes.
That's your own knowledge, and these are the design concept. They should see only the finished product, because you might put something within the mood board and you don't have it anymore in your warehouse. You might want to change idea of what is going to go in, and most likely you don't want them to pick your brains because you're just giving it out to them before even securing a project.
Yes.
So this is now shifting better.
Yep.
Oh, you have?
I have. Early on, one of my first, I had my daughter actually do a whole, because it was for a big apartment complex, do a whole thing for the game room, thinking I was really going above and, beyond. And we ended up not getting, who knows how much of my ideas they used, probably. But
you had the best intentions.
You live and learn. When you know better, you do better. So we're going on about 44 minutes. Thank you so much, Sanja. Again, I do. Before we sign up, though, I want you to share the big conference that's coming up. Is it the third or fourth? I know we didn't do. You didn't.
This is the third.
It's the third
European conference. And this is the conference we're organizing since 2019. And of course, because of the pandemic.
Yes, exactly.
So it's been dragged. And we had several attempts between March 2020 and last September. And then we said, okay, 2022 it is. So I invite everybody.
Give us the date that's happening. And you're going to be doing it virtual and on site, right? You're going to have it virtual.
It is going to be only on site.
Only
on site only. We're not going to live stream it. It is not going to be recorded. So there's no opportunity to see it afterwards. Or meanwhile, we are live there May 28th and May 29th, Lisbon, Portugal, Pestana Palace Hotel. So we're giving the opportunity this time to people and staging professionals, but also real estate professionals, to register according to their needs. 1 day or 2 days. The second day is wholly dedicated to senior staging consultant or senior staging specialist, which is an IAHSP designation. It is going to be taught by Jenny Norris. And this again, because of the longevity levels here in Europe, we have tons of seniors.
Wonderful.
Who not necessarily go into a retirement homes, but they end up living until the end of their days into the house.
So is this staging to live for the seniors?
This is going to be staging for self for seniors, helping them to better understand the service and for us to better understand how to work with seniors. Mostly.
Okay, so I'm confused. Is this for them to sell their space or to aging in place? We call that here aging.
No. We don't have that here in Europe. Like basically they sell before they die. Sorry for using this word. Or once they pass away, it's done. It goes directly as what is it called? Heredity.
Yes.
Kids.
Inherited. Yeah.
So what happens there as well, the kids not being seniors, they're so emotionally detached to anything that belonged to their, parents. But with seniors who are still alive, of course, and are willing to move with their kids or in certain facilities, having to learn how to deal with them, it's crucial. In Europe, we have so many, what they're called, knickknacks, tchotchkes.
Yes.
Our homes are filled. Okay.
I would never guess. Everything looks so. I look at Patricia's. Everything is so minimalist. But that how we stage and how we live, two different things. With too much stuff.
Yeah, and because of the demographics that we're talking about.
Yes.
These are people who have saved, okay, for generations.
And held on to every little gift at every holiday. Yeah.
Thank God this is not happening nowadays. Second day is a senior specialist stager. First day we're having actually a great lineup of speakers, educational session, a great real estate panel. We're going to speak about diversity and metaverse within the real estate and how this all applies to staging, and most of all, diversity and inclusion when it comes to who are today's leaders among the real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. NAR president, a woman. FIABSI's worldwide president, starting from June 2022, another woman. Who's leading the International Association, a woman who's leading a European association. So for us, this is like a fabulous constellation of galaxies
Absolutely. I just read that women hold 51% of income earning, which is pretty phenomenal when you figure that, historically in corporate America, men are paid more than women. So we now hold 51% of the market in wages earned. Yeah, which is pretty phenomenal. So that's great. Kudos to you for the woman power lineup. I wish I could be there. I'll be there with you in spirit for sure. And if you'd like to watch this on the flip side, it'll be on our YouTube channel. If you haven't signed up for our YouTube channel, go to Tada by Kat and you'll see it. Sign up, hit the bell so you get notified when we have new episodes. And is there any parting words that you'd like to leave with our audience before we sign off? I know we're at 50 minutes.
I'm just going to say, arrivederci.
Oh, arrivederci. Oh, mi amor. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And thank you so much for connecting with Sanja Radovanovic from Italy today. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Tune in. We'll be talking about a very special topic on the myths of getting help with your down payment. So if you're looking to buy a home, you need some help on down payment assistance, tune in next Friday. Alrighty. Arrivederci. Arrivederci.